AddictionCampuses.com. AddictionCampuses.com. Andrew McKenna is a representative. He's got a book called Sheer Madness: From Federal Prosecutor to Federal Prisoner. He's been on Fox News. What do we want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about
good news here, right?
Yeah,
right,
good
right.
news.
Is that things? Are they turning around a little bit with the heroin epidemic?
I think. Well, no, the numbers are still staggering, but we're seeing more grassroots activity. And people going to their politicians, demanding funding.
Isn't Charlie Baker our governor? He's like at the top of the list for combating this, isn't he?
He does really solid work. Yeah. And in the Trump administration, I think bringing Chris Christie on was a smart move.
Yep.
He's a warrior for this. And again, you got to put politics aside and just focus on different actions. The thing that we need to do is really focus on improving treatment. And, we talk about, I talk about Swift River. I'm proud of the work that we do there as part of Addiction Campuses and the Balanced Life curriculum. I mean, that's what is going to get people to stay engaged following the foundation that's built in a 30-day residential program or 45-day residential program. That's the foundation, right? But it's the work that goes on after that. And, statistically, we know if we can get somebody to the year mark or right around the year mark for, being clean and sober and engaging in a program like a Balanced Life curriculum where they're focusing on the 6 main areas of their life with coaching and help, that, statistically their chances of remaining clean and sober and being free. That's really where we're trying to get people, is to be free of substances that are ruining their lives. And, of course, you have the mental health component, which has to be addressed as well, which we do at Swift River and Addiction Campuses. But that has to be it. That has to be the sea change, because there's so many treatment facilities and options out there that don't work. And you have to, focus on outcomes and evidence-based treatment. And it's the only way. I deal with families every day. I get the phone calls. My loved one wants to go to treatment, but they're not sure if they want to go to treatment. And, I encourage families and loved ones to confront with compassion and love. But that piece has to happen as well, because if not, the stakes are so high with heroin and, fentanyl, carfentanil. The stakes are so high.
Do you know, is someone who goes out and looks to buy a bag, do they know what's in it? Can you tell if fentanyl's in it?
No, you can't. It doesn't smell any different. It doesn't look any different.
Really?
Yeah. And the insidious thing about the disease of addiction is there are people that will intentionally seek heroin laced with fentanyl. And at that point, the person is most likely in the compulsion stage of addiction. They're not making rational decisions. They continue to try to escape from something, and that's really what we got to get to the root of. Why are you trying to escape, mentally? What is it about your life that's so far out of balance, that's bringing you anxiety, fear, depression, guilt, shame, these different things. So
what's the difference between someone who has a couple beers on the weekend or maybe even a couple beers every night to someone who's alcohol addicted? I mean, because I don't know anyone who goes out and has a beer not to feel a little bit of an escape. So, you know what I mean?
I think brain chemistry is a big piece of that. I also think that there's certain learned behaviors. I know there's a genetic component. For instance, I know somebody who would never have a third glass of wine and might not finish the second glass of wine. They like the feeling.
For preventative maintenance, though?
Well, because they just don't have the desire to go to that level of intoxication, which to me is such a strange concept. So I'm built a certain way. I have a certain ontology where, once I start, I like to keep going.
I can relate. Yep, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But then, there's people that can manage it. It gets tricky, though, when you have the people that cannot manage it, right, but don't acknowledge that, and then their life turns into a shambles.
Yep.
And now it's time to get well. So...
At 10:29, always a great conversation with Andrew McKenna from Addiction Campuses, addictioncampuses.com, the all-new reconstructed Recovery by the River, Swift River in Cummington, Massachusetts.
Yeah, and if people, I get calls all the time, and that's what I do, that's what I love, that's my passion. My phone number is 518-269-8306. So I just want to put it out there that if you need help getting placed, I'm here to help. And whether it's with me or with another quality program that I've vetted, I'm happy to be there.
And he's dedicated his life to helping people get and remain sober, as he was once heroin addicted himself. And he's been clean now for the last 12 years. And he's got a great book. I did actually end up reading a couple of pages from the book.
This is amazing.
I was waiting for you to say you read the whole thing.
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
I was like, I know you didn't.
It's a little bit more real than I thought it was. Like, just in the way you talk.
It's sheer madness.
It is.
Sheer madness.